looking at also diplomatically. What we are learning right now in the details, so which are already flashing on your screens, are more steps that the Indian government now is willing to take. In fact, the diplomats are going to be briefed a little later in the evening, and that is a key meeting to also discuss what has happened, what are the steps that will be taken from here on, and why it is also important to remember not just corner Pakistan, but also right now to ensure that you have more support. And there is already enough and more support that is coming in for New Delhi when it comes to the rogue state Pakistan and its terror motives. You've seen the Prime Minister reiterating that much earlier in the afternoon. I'm told Maria is back with us. She's breaking that detail for us. Maria, tell us more.
So India will be taking some diplomats in confidence. In fact, there'll be a select briefing which will be happening with evidence which will be provided by India to these diplomats. Some selective information will be shared with them. Remember the brief, in that the speech that the Prime Minister gave in Bihar, when he made that shift from Hindi to English, the message was for the world, that India thanks the world and the global community that they are standing with India in this hour in which the entire country stands united in grief. But at the same time, the messaging is that here onwards, whatever action India will be taking, where Prime Minister said that he will do everything possible, that he will hunt down these terrorists who have destroyed and devastated 26 families. The message is also that in this fight against terrorism, India needs support of the world. And that is the reason why the select briefing of some diplomats will be happening in some time from now at the Ministry of External Affairs. That is the reason why this becomes important and crucial, because India has already taken a diplomatic offensive, series of measures which were announced post the Cabinet Committee on Security, which met yesterday. And now what next is something that India will, of course, be doing at the time and place of its own choosing. But because this could lead to some kind of diplomatic tension, that is the reason why diplomats will be briefed, is what sources are indicating to us.
Okay, and Maria, then obviously this means that there is a clear correlation between the messaging that came in from the Prime Minister earlier today and the fact that we as a country are trying to build a global solidarity against Pakistan. Because, one of the countries conspicuous right now by even a condemnation is China, that many say is the elephant in the room, that has not even reacted to what has happened.
Yes, but you had US President Donald Trump speak to Prime Minister Narendra Modi over telephone. You had Vladimir Putin write to Prime Minister Modi and the President of India that they are joining India in this fight against terrorism and these acts of terror. So I think India is looking at these countries as it tries to brief them and shares details, because Home Minister Amit Shah's presence on ground in Pahalgam and his interactions with those who have been the next of kin of these victims becomes important. And then the long CCS which happened where where Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired that meeting. So I think what will happen in the next few hours becomes crucial, particularly because the two meetings, as we have been saying, are lined up. One is the decision which has been taken of putting the Indus Water Treaty on abeyance, and the second one that the government will be taking all parties in confidence and trying to share details. They are looking at some kind of resolution, an all-party resolution, that the entire political class in India stands united when it is about fighting terrorism and fighting this cross-border terrorism against Pakistan.
Oh, absolutely. So the story moving very, very fast. I'm thanking Maria also for breaking that detail for us. So you're looking at the Indian government making it absolutely clear that we will identify, we will track, we will punish. But on the other side also is this huge global movement against Pakistan, and that is why a lot of evidence on hand possibly could also be shown to a lot of these envoys. The meeting expected later this evening. Trust NDTV to keep you on top of that story. We head into a quick break. On the other side, back with lots more.